Oh yeah. I believe I will get it. Oh yeah. Still nothing for that? Yeah, you want to say you lay down put it. Good evening from ELBC in Queensville. I'm Hassan Kewu, and this is Newsline. 1 full hour of news, views, counter views, sports, news in simple English and French, all coming up in this edition at 7 o'clock, November 13, 2025. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai identifies with fuller community on passing of Amadou Yaya Sow.
The issue of the street is then politicized. So with the agitation against it, Abu and the Minister of Public Works in May were cleared before this body on Tuesday in Babylon.
House of Representatives summons the Public Works Minister for stopping opposition citizens movement for change from constructing a bridge in Bone County. Poor sanitation hits National Palace of Correction in Grandida County. And away from Liberia, the Nigerian government cancels controversial policy mandating the use of indigenous languages in schools. These and many more to come. But first, here is Walimita Jaba with the news bulletin.
President Joseph Waka has reiterated government's dedication to improving the overall livelihood of the Liberian people. President Waka said by providing citizens access to affordable and quality services is the surest way to catering to the needs of all citizens. The Liberian leader believes prioritizing the welfare of the ordinary people remains key to building an inclusive society that works for all. He admonished citizens to get involved in the development process of the country, noting that Liberia's progress must be the responsibility of every citizen. President Waka made the remarks at the dedication of several modern buses for use by the National Transit Authority in Ghanansville on Thursday. Meanwhile, President Joseph Waka has described the dedication of the modern buses as a beginning of an era of development at the NTA. President Waka said the coming in of the buses will not only enhance the operations of the entity, but will address the transportation constraints of ordinary people. The Liberian leader said the NTA government's owned public transport sector has been logistically challenged, but with the dedication, such challenge is being addressed. He lauded the efforts of NTA management and ABK Incorporated for leading the procurement process. The National Transit Authority (NTA) has officially commissioned over 30 modern buses as part of enhancing the country's public transport sector. NTA Deputy Director, that's Managing Director for Administration, Melvin Sifa said the arrival of the buses signifies the management's commitment to revamp public transport services. Mr. Sifas added that the buses, following approval from the requisite government authorities, will procured were procured in collaboration with ABK Incorporated. He reaffirmed the authority's commitment to supporting the government's arrest agenda through improved services and revealed plans to bring in 5 cargo trucks to ease farmers' transportation challenges. Meanwhile, Mr. Sivers disclosed that a new administrative building valued at over 5 million US dollars is under construction and is expected to be dedicated by July next year. At the same time, Transport Minister Sedif Tyler has urged staff of the National Transit Authority (NTA) to take ownership of the newly commissioned buses and ensure they are properly maintained for the benefit of the public. Minister Tyler commended the government's vendor ABK Incorporated for the procurement of the modern buses. He described the procurement of the buses as a major boost to Liberia's transport sector. Speaking at the dedication ceremony, Minister Tyler said the ongoing digitalization effort by the NTA management will enhance revenue generation and promote transparency in operations. The House of Representatives has summoned Public Works Minister Roland Guinness for reportedly halting the construction of a major bridge in Bond County. Recently, the Ministry of Public Works placed a stop order on a bridge construction project over the Jaw River that links communities in Banga. Groundbreaking for the construction of the Jaw River Bridge was earlier done by the Citizens Movement for Change of Representative Musa Bedeti. County District 3 Representative Marvin Cole accused the Public Works Minister of reportedly halting the bridge construction for political reasons. Representative Cole said the decision has left citizens totally frustrated given the economic impact of the proposed project. The Ministry of Public Works had said funding for the construction of the bridge was already included in the national budget. Pressing authorities at the National Palace of Correction in Grand Chile County are calling on the Justice Ministry to recondition the facility. The facility houses over 200 inmates, 16 females, and 199 males, and is the second largest in the country. According to our correspondent, the facility lacks adequate drinking water, drugs to treat inmates, and electricity, among others. The prison director Christian Doe wants government to expand the facility by building female quarters, toilets, and washrooms. Our correspondent said the prison facility is yet to undergo major renovation work. The Justice Minister, Councillor Oxford has reaffirmed the government's commitment to firmly prosecute past and current officials who are indicted for corruption. The Liberian Justice Minister assured Liberians that justice will be pursued and meaningful results will be realized before 2026. According to him, government through the Ministry of Justice is putting in place all lawful tactics, including secret investigations, forensic financial work, and witness protection in order to secure sustainable legal outcomes. Meanwhile, Minister Tue has called on Liberians to support the rule of law by reporting corruption cases and cooperating with investigators. The chairperson of the Office of the Ombudsman, Councillor Finekanga, has refuted allegation by the Variety newspaper of corruption, nepotism, maladministrative practices at the entity. The Variety newspaper also accused the Office of the Ombudsman of employing 300 employees. At Minkat regular press briefing on Thursday, Councillor Kanga clarified that the office only has 21 employees, contrary to the newspaper's report, and that nepotism is a serious crime under the Liberian law. Councillor Kanga said the Office of the Ombudsman was created to ensure accountability and transparency in government. He said the office is investigating and monitoring the National Code of Conduct of Government Ministries, agencies, and commissions. The Ministry of Education has launched a digital platform for school operational permits. According to the ministry, the platform will replace the outdated manual permit process with a digital system to ensure efficiency, transparency, and accountability in the education sector. Speaking at the launch Thursday in Congo Town, Education Minister Dr. Jaso Jara said the platform is part of a digital partnership between the ministry and private schools. Minister Jara said the platform aligns with President Joseph Waka's arrest agenda and the Ministries of Education reform priorities, aiming to build a data-driven system. She called on education officers, school leaders, and ministry staff to embrace the platform as a shared responsibility for Liberia's educational future. Foreign Minister Sarah Yanti has commended China for its commitment to the bilateral relations with Liberia. Minister Yanti thanked China for the level of development rendered the country. The foreign minister pledged Liberia's willingness to strengthen cooperation with China in the advancement of strategic partnership between both countries. According to a release, the Liberian foreign minister made the remarks at a recent meeting with Chinese Ambassador Yan Chenwu. Meanwhile, Chinese Ambassador Yan Chenwu expressed China's willingness to working with Liberia to steadily promote the implementation of the outcomes at the recent FOCAC summit. A dispatch from the Chinese embassy said the implementation of those outcomes would deepen the continuous development of the China-Liberia strategic partnership. The editor of Dubawa West Africa, a fast-track organization, editor Nathan Gagwe, has underscored the critical need for upholding integrity and ethics within the media. Mr. Gagwa said maintaining credibility is paramount for journalists, bloggers, and influencers to sustain their careers and uphold public trust. He made the statement in Monrovia on Thursday at the end of a 3-day fast check training for over 30 journalists, including bloggers and influencers. He expressed optimism that such initiative will contribute to a healthier media environment and a better informed public. Meanwhile, participants have lauded the organizers for the training and vowed to put into practice the knowledge acquired. Finance Minister Augustine Gaffan says the hallmarks called by Liberia in control of corruption and government accountability in the Millennium Challenge Corporation latest scorecard signifies the country's commitment towards good governance. On Wednesday, MCC released its 2026 scorecard with passing 12 out of 20 indicators, including control of corruption, government accountability, women in economic health expenditures, and market competitiveness. Speaking Thursday on the Super Morning Show, Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gaffwan described the pass as significant towards the country's journey to a second MCC Compact grant.
It is what we call a necessary condition for passing. If you pass 20 indicators and fail these two, you fail. So you must pass these and pass others.
The finance minister also attributed Liberia's passage in the Millennium Challenge Corporation 2026 scorecard to series of engagements held between President Joseph Waka and U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington earlier this year. Meanwhile, Minister Gaffan said government is determined to ensure the country pass all indicators next year. Finance Minister Augustine Gaffan says government will continue to service both domestic and extended debt through the national budget. Minister Gaffan also warned against demonizing debt payments, adding that they serve as strategic instruments for financing infrastructure, expanding essential services, and unlocking long-term economic growth. On the Super Morning Show Thursday, the finance minister stated that the public financial management law mandates the country to pay those it owes in order to improve government's credibility.
The PFM law says first claim on revenue deficits. Meaning, when you owe people, you should pay. That is foundation of the government's credibility.
Minister Gaffwan also disclosed that the domestic debt increased recently because there were claims that were not audited for validation by the General Auditing Commission (GAC). According to the 2026 draft national budget, Liberia's total public debt as of September 2025 stood at 2.70 billion United States dollars. At the same time, Finance Minister Augustine Gaffan said the 2026 draft national budget is deeply rooted into the National Development Plan. However, Minister Gaffan disclosed that road and electricity are being highly prioritized through extra funding from the budget. The minister stated that both sectors are benefiting 200 million United States dollars through ArcelorMittal's Liberia signature bonus.
In the metal one-time injection, that's what we did. 100 million of that amount, we dedicated and allocated just two sectors. Roads, 50, energy, 50.
Minister Gaffan said apart from the nearly 60 million allocated to the Ministry of Public Works in the draft budget, 50 million extra was allotted for road development across the country. According to him, another 50 million was allotted to the energy sector to expand and reduce the cost of electricity. The finance minister showed of extra support to other key sectors as domestic revenue mobilization continues to increase. And the Civil Servants Association of Liberia is calling for intervention into several challenges confronting civil servants across the country. The association's president, Mwaba Johnson cited low salaries and high taxes as issues severely impacting public sector workers nationwide. Addressing a news conference Wednesday in Singa, Mr. Johnson described civil servants as the backbone of the nation and key players in driving Liberia's prosperity. He said the association is formally requesting a significant increase in the budget allocation for civil servants compensation in the upcoming 2026 national budget.
We'll meet Jabba with that bulletin news, and she'll be back later with our weather and the foreign news. You're listening to Newsline coming to you from the radio service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. We broadcast from our top stories we are following. President Joseph Walker identifies with the Fuller community on the passing of Amadou Yasu. Now let's take us to the capital, where recently the Ministry of Public Works placed a stop order on the construction of a major bridge over the Jaw River in Bong County. Such decision has since sparked mixed reactions from the public. On Thursday, members of the House of Representatives voted to summon Public Works Minister Roland Giddens to provide explanation for the decision. Elbc's legislative reporter Emmanuel Colley followed the deliberation in chambers, where he files in this report.